This is Sheena Titcomb, and I'm joined here by
Kirsten Johnson.
So excited to be here. We are in Denver, Colorado. We've got Molly Brown taking on the All-Star Ultimate Tour. Molly Brown is going to be wearing white. The All-Stars are going to be in blue. And let's just take a couple of seconds here. Kirsten, who should we look out for on Molly Brown?
Well, the person everyone's been talking about is Lisa P. She's a huge pickup for us this year. And we've started the game right on time.
Right on time. So we have Molly Brown in offense, Slattery up to Chastain, wide to White, back to Chastain, finds Slattery. Looks like the All-Stars are in a sort of junk set here, just trying to slow down Molly's offense. Slattery wide to White. Chastain to Slattery. A little bit of stagnation here from Molly Brown. They're content to move it around, but a big blade. Crossfield goes up, finding Lisa Caithley. She loops a forehand all the way to that far corner to Sally Lambert, and unfortunately looks like that is out of bounds. This is the first turn for Molly Brown's offensive line. So the All-Stars are going to be on offense now. We got Jesse Schaffner picking up the disc. Horizontal set downfield. Finds a wide open Claire France, who breaks it once more around to Sarah Edwards. Back to France. Finds way under. Around to Kaler. Back to Way. Just the speed of Jesse Schaffner. France running deep. Schaffner puts it up. A little too far out in front.
That was pretty good shutdown defense from the Molly Brown defenders. That's definitely something that Molly Brown prides themselves in, so I'm sure they're proud to get the disc back on offense here.
Chastain holding. Has Cross open. Elects to find Slattery, who then finds Cross. Back to Slattery, Chastain. Another nice flick blade. Finding, I believe that's Cousins on the far side to Lisa Caithley. Back to Slattery. Finds Chastain. Very consistent and just patient movement here from Molly Brown. Looks like the All-Stars have transitioned into person defense. Up forward to Sally Lambert with an inside flick. And France reads that beautifully. Is able to cut that throw off. France to Kaler. Finds Sue. Nice backhand break to Miller, but it looks like there is a pick called. A little bit of a long point to start off here. Sue finds Way. Just a miscue there with Edwards. She can't quite get her hand on it. Chastain will pick up immediately and throw a high release flick to Caithley. Tall receiver, no problem. She just gets that over France. And a high release break backhand can't connect with Lambert.
Lambert was missing at the U.S. Open, so there could be a little bit of chemistry miscommunication between Caithley and Lambert there. Haven't gotten quite as many reps together.
Kaler picking up. Schaffner clears out, looking for Sue. She likes to go with a crossfield backhand. Finds Edwards. Back to Sue. Nice clear by Edwards, opening up that space for Sue to break the mark. Kaler finds Schaffner. Boosts the backhand to Way. We've got two players that are so well known for their in-air play.
Oh.
And an excellent grab by Way, hitting the turf. That's the first break for the All-Stars. Did you expect Sally Lambert to be able to catch up? She's pretty fast.
She is pretty fast. I know after playing with the team, or Masters Team USA, she had a little bit of a back injury, so maybe it's still hurting her a bit here. Doesn't want to push too hard before a big tournament happening this weekend, but I've been extremely impressed with Jenny Way so far through the tour, so no surprise that she came down with that. A great player that I had never heard of before the tour, so very impressive.
Yeah, Jenny Way, she comes from UNC and plays for Phoenix, actually, so she'll be competing this weekend along with her teammate Lindsay Sue at the Pro Elite Challenge here in Denver, Colorado. And I liked that Schaffner just picked her head up and boosted that to Way. I think they've started to develop some chemistry in just these couple of games that has allowed Schaffner to have that trust to be able to put that deep to Way.
Absolutely. That's a classic Jessie Schaffner play. The point's getting long. She goes and gets it and boosts it deep to puts it into a space that only her receiver can get it.
And we're back. This is Chena Tidcum.
Kirsten Johnson.
And sorry, we just had a little bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully we're good now. Molly Brown had a really nice hold where they just worked it up amongst their handlers. And still 1-1. All-Stars are up one break. We'll get our first chance at the All-Star offensive set. Ogawa finding Walrus up to Scarth. Molly Brown with a junk set of their own. Mira Donaldson just open, too open, boosts a forehand out to Ogawa. Can she run it down? And she does. The question is that in? The observer is calling it in.
That was incredible. Great to see the international player having an amazing time, making great plays. Obviously an incredible pickup for the All-Star Ultimate Tour. Not only being an international presence, but also being a playmaker like we just saw here.
Yeah, and those are two international players, actually. Mira Donaldson boosting a huge forehand. We just saw that replay out to Ogawa. Phenomenal catch. And I think it's interesting. I mean, you're from Denver, or you've
been here for
4
a while. Years now. Yeah.
You went to college here in Colorado. Do you think that the air has a serious impact on the way that the disc sails?
Absolutely. Whenever I fly anywhere for a tournament, I always like to take 30 minutes the day before a tournament to get my throws in tune. It's definitely harder to get the disc to fly the way you want it in the thick air. There's definitely not as much air here, so discs fly a lot farther. I'm sure Mira didn't want that disc to go all the way to the back of the end zone. I'm sure she thought it would be a little shorter, but that is probably due to the little lack of air we have here.
And the All-Stars, actually, we drove into Denver, Colorado yesterday, so the players had a full good night of rest. We're staying at the Mickle household, able to snooze this morning, so they've sort of gotten a little acclimated, I think, to the altitude, but haven't had a chance to get many touches in. Bacher up to Slattery. All-Stars back in that defensive set just to slow down Molly Brown. Bacher finds Chastain to Daly Morgan. Back to Chastain. Daly Morgan, give and go here from Molly Brown. Fakes that flick blade. Goes to Slattery. Finds Lori, who boosts the backhand. She's got a Daly Morgan. Donaldson in the area and is able to get the D, just sticks her hand out and somehow gets a hand on that.
I think Daly Morgan was a little concerned about where the back end zone line was, where the sideline was, and maybe took her eye off the disc for a quick second trying to find the bounds, and that's when Mira snuck in there.
Donaldson picks it up, immediately rips a forehand to France, and that one just sails a little too far. That might be a little bit of the altitude there. Bacher catching it, finds Slattery, up to Chastain. High release flick to Bacher, and it kind of falls a little faster. I'm not sure if she was expecting that. Way picks it up and just boosts it immediately to Schaffner. Chastain is in the area but is unable to make the play.
And that's the connection you were talking about, Jenny Way to Jessie Schaffner. They can do it both ways. Little remnants of Schaffner jumping into Lisa P's arms of last year's All-Star Tour there.
We got a chance to see
new target.
again. Just huge backhand hook from Jenny Way. We've seen her as a receiver. We haven't had the opportunity to see her as much as a thrower. So, but I'm not surprised. We know she has the throws.
Absolutely, very impressive throw. Just gets it out there, gets it right to where only Jessie can get it. Claire did the best she could, but couldn't quite reach it.
So if you're just joining us here, score is 3-1. The All-Stars are up. Molly Brown is in white and the All-Stars are in blue. We're here in Denver, Colorado. Feel free to tweet at us at AllStarUlti and at Molly Brown Town. And we're excited to be here. And so is Molly Brown. I had an opportunity to talk to the coach, and his name is, can you remind me?
Joe Durst.
Joe Durst. He was saying that this game is special for Molly Brown. They're big fans of the endeavor, and they want to be here, and they want to keep their foot on the gas. They're here to play. They're not here to hold back, and that's exciting ultimately.
Absolutely.
Taggart centers the pull to Applegate. High release flick to Boyle. Such a cheeky throw, but so effective in this zone. Taggart out wide to Franklin, finds Pelletier, currently unmarked. Now finds Boyle. Looks like the All-Stars have transitioned into person defense. Back to Applegate. Finding Chen. Crossfield throw to Pelletier. Unfortunately, she just can't get her hands on it. Scarth up to Odie, looking for Ogawa.
That's great mark by Taggart there. Or Megan Ives, excuse me. Her number is hard to see.
Walrus out wide to Donaldson. Big swing there. Back to Walrus. Finds Odie. The All-Stars losing yards. Kaler keeping Chen on her back. Really effective no round marks here from Molly Brown. I wonder if they sort of discussed that before playing this game. Shot from Kate Scarth looking for Donaldson. That's no problem. Two UBC players that have played together quite a bit, and Donaldson just a light flick to Kaler, who has to lay out, but makes the catch. An incredible grab.
Every game it seems like Beth Kaler comes up with an incredible grab. They're really making her work on this tour, but she's an all-star for sure.
A little slow to get up, but she's got a lot of fire, and she's excited to be here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more of those this game.
I would like to see a couple more. It's always exciting. I think we have a Molly Brown timeout here, if I saw correctly. I'm sure they just want to gather their thoughts, refocus a little bit, and put their foot back on the gas pedal like you said Coach Durst wants to do. This game is really special for Molly Brown. It's a nice little warm-up going into Colorado Cup, which starts tomorrow. I think it's important to get the jitters out of a big tournament like the Pro Elite Challenge, and this is a great opportunity. They get it out the night before and can go into tomorrow ready to go.
Yeah, to give a little context, where is sort of Molly Brown in their season right now? So they've played at the U.S. Open. They tied for third, I believe. They fell to Riot in the semifinals. Fantastic game. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yes, very intense.
It's on ESPN. Phenomenal display of skill, athleticism, grit, you name it. They're playing the Pro Elite Challenge this weekend, and then they're looking forward to the Pro Flight finale and then regionals and nationals. How many players on Molly Brown have represented the United States at Worlds just a couple months ago, or a month ago, excuse me?
There were 8. There were 3 on the women's masters team: Alicia White, Crystal Davis, and Sally Lambert. And then there were 1 on the mixed team, that was Becca Miller, and 4 on Team USA women's team: Claire Chastain, Dina Slattery, Tina Snodgrass, and Opie Payne, obviously, a huge name out there. She's unfortunately not with us today. She's coming back from coaching at Cut Camp in Portland this week, but she'll be back tomorrow for games at Pro Elite Challenge.
Yeah, and it is important to note that Molly Brown is also missing Tina Snodgrass. She's sort of recovering from a couple little injuries and just decided to take it easy. She will be playing this weekend, though, so she's excited for that. Had a chance to talk to her before this game started. Chastain forward to Cousins, out to Alicia White. Finds Picaithley, person from the All-Stars. Looks like Molly Brown is just marching the disc downfield. Wynn with a disc now. Looking for the break around. Instead elects to go to Slattery. Edwards very quick on the mark. And then up the line to Chastain, and she just beats Sprague there to that front cone.
Sprague has also been a player I've been very intrigued by so far this tour. Very impressive player out of Australia. She seems to have fit in very well with offensive movement. Definitely a great defender. She has a great mark, the big, long limbs there to get around at all places.
Yeah, she's 5'11", so her mark and also her break arounds are so incredibly hard to guard.
Absolutely. She reminds me a lot of Sally Lambert on Molly Brown, a big, tall frame who gets around her mark for her throws to really open up the space.
Yeah, on the All-Star Tour, we've started nicknaming her, call her Keem. And she's actually, so she's from Australia, and if those of you that don't know, they drive on the opposite side of the road. And she actually has been driving for us. She had a couple of shifts driving for us, so first I was a little nervous, but she loves to drive. So we had a lot of straight and open a lot of straight and open roads from Salt Lake City to Denver yesterday, so she just was steady at the wheel.
Yeah, trustworthy on those straight lines.
Yeah. Applegate with a roller pole makes it to only about half field, but when you see that kind of pull, you got to know that defense is going to set something specific that's designed to trap the team on the sideline.
Absolutely. Joe Durst has been making all of our pullers on Molly Brown practice that pull specifically.
Walrus, just a soft inside-out backhand to Kaler, just fits through that hole. Beautiful shot. If you ever were trying to get better at throwing, just watch Haley Walrus Miller. Looking for Kaler, a little bit of a miscommunication there. Kaler sort of held up her cut. Boyle finds Applegate, boosts the forehand. Anyone who watches Paige Applegate play knows that she's going to throw that one. Davis on the reception there. All-star defense, a little bit lagging. Nice movement on the mark by Haley Walrus, just able to take that away. She picks it up, immediately launches a backhand up, looking for Bethany Kaler, and it's a little too far in front.
That was great heads-up D by Crystal Davis there. I believe she was one of 3 Molly Brown offenders in the opposite end zone and had the speed to catch up to Kaler there to make sure that that, in fact, was a D and Kaler didn't make another incredible grab. Oh, Tanya with a nice layout.
Back to Taggart. Finds Mickle on the far sideline. Holding there. Great grab from, I believe that is Davis.
Yes.
Finds Miller to Applegate. Round to Taggart. Nice find to Reitz. Taggart. Reitz just attacks that up line and then looking for the crossfield shot to Miller. Fortunately can't connect.
That wasn't a bad look. It was definitely a lot of space, had some nice air under the disc, but it did cut through a lot of defenders. I don't think Becca was quite ready for that throw to come off.
Odie picks it up, finds Walrus, another huge backhand hook, looking for Ogawa. Can she run it out? A little bit of overthrows from both sides.
Absolutely. I think the air is pretty still down there. The all-star flags seem to be moving a little bit, but no direct wind, either downwind or upwind. I think they're just feeling out the air right now.
Miller finding Mickle. Back to Applegate. Taggart. Reitz. A little bit of confusion downfield from Molly Brown, just not seeing players continue their cuts, or finish them, I should say. Unfortunate turn from Molly Brown there.
We have transitioned into focusing more of in a horizontal offense since US Open, so I think working out the kinks a little bit still.
Donaldson finds Miller. Miller backhand. She's got 2 receivers, and Scarth is able to run it down. Nearly runs into one of our cameramen, Wes Chow, but is able to stay safe there. Nice shot from Miller.
Absolutely. It looked like a little bit of a high release shot, and so far this tour, those have been really connecting for her. A lot of high release backhands over her mark. Good completions from Miller. Solid handler for sure. Looks like Molly Brown's going to send out a very typical offensive line with Claire, Chastain, Dina Slattery, Alicia White probably holding down the backfield with big athletic cutters and Sally Lambert, Lisa P., Megan Cousins, and Lizzie Laurie.
All-Stars so they have a couple of different lines that they put out there. They have players that generally play offense, players that generally play defense, and then they have a couple of other sort of specialty lines for specific junk or defensive sets. So we'll be looking to see them sort of adjust and play with those lines throughout the tour. They've gotten a little bit more comfortable. The system really is set up by the 3 coaches, consultant coaches, I should say, who have helped put the team in a place to be successful. So Rory Titcomb, she's actually here on the sideline for the Pro Elite Challenge, and she'll be joining us on the road for the following 2 games. But her, as well as Gwen Ambler and Mike Lawler, have really been helping do scouting, personal feedback for players, and just being an extra set of eyes. It's really hard to play and think about all the strategy at the same time.
Absolutely. I'm sure that's a very nice change.
Slattery with a nice hammer over to White, back to Slattery, up to Chastain. Slattery looking for that give and go. Looks to find White. Pitcaithley, back to White, back to Pitcaithley. Chastain A loopy forehand to Lambert, and that'll work.
That was great patience from the Molly Brown handlers. They swung it back and forth between Chastain, White, and Slattery for a while. And then Chastain's throws can just really open up the field, and that's exactly what she did there, finding Lambert in the end zone. A great flick blade that she's been connecting on all night so far through the zone that the All-Stars have thrown.
What do you think, KJ? Do you like this defensive look by the All-Stars? Has it been effective in sort of slowing down the pole play or the offensive, balance and tone of the Molly Brown team?
Absolutely. I think it definitely slows down Molly Brown's pole play. Most elite teams really just want to isolate a very athletic cutter in space for their pole plays, and Molly Brown has had to swing it back and forth a bunch of times and hasn't been able to hit that first option that they are really hoping for. So they're doing a good job. I think the Molly Brown handlers are also staying very patient, which is helping them open up the field by swinging the disc a lot, tiring out those defenders a little bit maybe.
So a little bit of context. You actually play for Molly Brown. You're
Yes.
currently injured.
Sadly injured with a ACL tear.
But how many years have you played on Molly Brown?
Last year was my first year, and I had been practicing a couple times with Molly Brown the year before. I studied abroad in the summer, but unfortunately didn't play the series or anything. So last year was an exciting new beginning of elite women's ultimate for me.
Kaler to Walrus, finding Donaldson, just a deadly initiating cutter. So comfortable with the disc. Scoober to Kaler for the dump. Finds Edwards. Little bit of traffic there for the All-Stars. Scarth open on the under, but Edwards elects to find Kaler. Wide to Walrus. Back to Kaler. Finding Miller. Appears like there is a pick call downfield. Miller has it, shoots deep, and a nice D there by Ives.
Yes.
It's a rookie on Molly Brown,
Yes,
right?
she was a practice player for Molly Brown last year and was moved up to a rostered player this year. A great defender, as you can see right there. A good, solid offender as well.
Yeah, she just elevates to get that D. Chastain holding. Handlers clearing out, finding the far handler, Slattery. Fortunately, a little too far behind Davis. And Donaldson finds Kaler just in that confusion. All-Stars are deadly in that transition attack.
They seem to be gelling very well here in Game 6. They've definitely had a lot of time to get to know each other, get to feel each other out, know the throws and everything. It's great to see that growth from the All-Stars, for sure.
Yeah, so for those that haven't been following along, we've played 6 games. Wait, this is game 6. We've played 5 games in 4 cities. So we started off in Seattle playing against Riot, and then traveled up to Vancouver, Canada, played against Traffic. Then drove down to Portland, where we faced Portland Schwa. And just on Tuesday, a couple days ago, we were down in San Francisco, and we played a doubleheader. First game against Fury, and then the second game against Nightlock. So a little bit of an unusual doubleheader, and I think it actually benefited the All-Stars playing 2 games in a row, because similar to tournament play, where you play multiple games in a weekend, they were able to kind of continue on and just play 2 games, no problem. I think
grow from the mistakes maybe in the Fury game corrected them in the Nightlock game.
Yes, so the All-Stars went down against Fury quite significantly, 6-1, and then were able to bring it back in an impressive comeback. If you hadn't had a chance to watch that game, you should do that. All-Stars had a fantastic game, but also Fury is just a phenomenal team to watch, and anyone can learn from watching them play. Taggart looking for Applegate, and it looks like that throw might have been down, but Franklin believing that she had a hand underneath it. We are grateful we have 2 observers with us tonight, and they are donating their time to help move the game along and also just be another set of eyes out there. Servers do call it down. Sprague picking it up, an inside flick to Jesse Schaffner. So much length on that throw. Schaffner holding, looking for Ogawa, and it sort of slips out of her hand. Franklin rips a forehand hook. Schaffner reads it, comes down with it, no problem. Finds Wei, up to Sue. Really stopping that around throw. Schaffner throws an inside-out floaty flick to Claire France.
That is Jesse Schaffner's creativity right there in one throw. Having that vision of that IO flick out into space for Claire France. Incredible vision she has.
Yeah, and you'll see it again here. Just a nice throw. If you're wanting to become a better thrower, wanting to see space differently, Jesse Schaffner is an excellent player to follow. Also, on Molly Brown, Claire Chastain, we were just talking about her. She just sees the field differently.
Absolutely. She coaches Colorado Collie, and something she would tell myself and the other handlers on Colorado this year is be creative with your throws, try and see the field in a different space. You can open up the field with your throws by being creative with a throw like the one Jesse just had, or the throws that Claire Chastain has been with the flick blades.
How many, let's see, I know that Claire Chastain has won the Callahan Award.
Correct.
She won it in 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
Are there any other Callahan Award winners on Molly Brown? Claire Chastain the only one?
I'm pretty sure she's the only one. I'm sure someone would bite my head off if I got that wrong, but I am 99% confident. Lizzie Laurie was a top 5 finalist in 2014, I believe. And Christina Mickle, I think, might have been top 5, maybe top 10 that year as well. Paige Applegate also that year. So a lot of good pickups from 2014 college seniors that are still with us here on Molly Brown that we're thankful for.
Yeah, it seems like every stop that the All-Star Tour has made, we've been able to see just names that we recognize from the Callahan Award. Bacher out to Chastain. Beautiful backhand break from Bacher there, finds Daly Morgan holding on that far sideline. Bacher clearing out, looking for Slattery. Finds Bacher. The All-Stars, some sagging, some person, a little bit of switching, very effective for them. And right as we say that, there's that creative throw from Claire Chastain, and Lambert just can't quite hold on. A little bit behind her, but vision, such vision.
Absolutely.
Edwards out to Sprague, finding Odie. Back to Edwards. Sprague. Way. Trying to just dish it out there to Edwards, and unfortunately, a little far out of her reach. Chastain picks it up, looking for this fast break opportunity. Win. Finding Lambert. Around to Bacher. Just able to shake off Fitzgerald. Slattery, excellent backhand break, finds Cross. Looking for Daly Morgan. Can't quite come down with that one. She is taking a second to get up, but it just appears that she might have tripped a little bit. And turf is not very forgiving, ladies and gentlemen.
No, definitely not. She had friction gloves catch of the week last week, and it was on turf, and she had a nice turf burn on her shoulder for a couple weeks from that catch at US Open.
Odie finding Fitzgerald. Beautiful backhand break to Sprague, who just unleashes a backhand away. You've seen her be so deadly in the air, and an incredible grab over Ni Win. Wow.
Ni Win really seemed to have the body position there. I'm guessing Jenny Wei has maybe an inch or two on her, but that was great defense by Ni Win. She typically comes down with those, but Jenny might have had the couple-inch height advantage there, and there's not much you can do about that.
We're so impressed by Jenny Wei. I mean,
Absolutely.
what a phenomenal player. We've seen her. I think people just don't know how good she is.
No. I absolutely had no idea. I know there was a lot of hype around her. There was Ulti-World forums about who would make the All-Star Tour team, and Jenny Wei's name came up over and over again, and I had never really heard of her, but am extremely impressed here. Does she have more college time left?
She does have. She's going into her junior year, I believe, or at least she has one more year.
Okay.
Sometimes I get confused with if they've just finished a year going into the next year. So that was actually half for the All-Stars. They're up 8-3 against Molly Brown. Very impressive game. We will be taking a quick break, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Chena Tidgum
And Kirsten Johnson.
All right, and we're back. This is Chena Tidgum. I'm joined here by Ellen Au Young. Hi, Ellen. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Gina. I'm Ellen.
So tell us a little bit about your background, sort of where you're from and where you go to school and what team you play for.
So I'm from Canada, from Richmond, BC, and I play for UBC. And yeah, it's basically
Basically,
yeah.
So how many years left do you have of College Ultimate?
Ooh, I have 3 more years. Hopefully, gonna use up all 5 years of my eligibility. So
Okay, and do you play any Club Ultimate?
this year I'm playing with Traffic, and it's great because I can learn so much from all these women, and like they're like my role models. So yeah.
Have you played Club Ultimate before, or is Traffic the first time you've really stepped onto the field in that elite capacity?
Yeah, I think Traffic is my first year playing.
Are any of the players on Traffic, have they been your coaches in the past?
Yes, Candice Chan.
Yeah.
I love her. She's really supportive and really knowledgeable of the sport, and she's great to have on the field and great to talk to, like for personal reasons or for Ultimate too. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Candice Chen is a well-known Canadian player. She's played on multiple Team Canadas,
Yep.
an impressive receiver and an impressive thrower,
Yep. For sure.
and she's so speedy.
yes.
Do you mark up against her in
Yeah,
practice?
Yeah, I do, and like the things she teaches us on field, I can actually see her like demonstrating it on the field, which is awesome. Yeah.
She also has a great smile for
Yes.
anyone that has watched Traffic play. She's always playing with a smile on her face,
Yep.
which is great. So how are you liking the All-Star Ultimate Tour so far? We've been on the road for how many days now? Almost a week.
Almost a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I still get hit by like the realization that I'm here. I'm on this tour with these amazing athletes, and like everyone's amazing. And yeah, I just can't believe like looking at them playing right now. They're doing great. Like I'm just so proud of them. Like I wish I could be playing with them. Like yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Ellen has maybe a potential concussion or some whiplash going on, so she's just being very careful.
Yeah.
What was it like to step onto the field for the first time with the All-Stars in Seattle?
Ooh, that was. I think speechless. I was, yeah, I was half fangirling everyone on our team and everyone else on like Riot, and trying to keep myself like composed. Like so many things were going on. There was a huge crowd, and like I just couldn't believe my eyes. Like everything that happened that night.
And who did you enjoy guarding the most on Riot? So the reason I'm asking this, folks, if you haven't seen it, check out our highlight reel from that game. Ellen actually is the only person I've seen in probably ever get a little hand block on Jacqueline Verzu. So check that out. But
I think for sure Jacqueline, like she's so tall, she's so like athletic, and it was a great opportunity to be able to check her. And in my head, I'm like, oh man, half fangirling, half being like, gotta, stay tight on her.
Yeah. And who is the player that has sort of surprised you the most off the field on the All-Star Ultimate Tour? So we've had pretty much 3 full days on the road. For those of you that are here, I'm here with Ellen O. Young. So we've been on the road for 3 full days just driving. Who has surprised you the most?
I think Jay-Wei. Jay-Wei, she has such an awesome personality. Like, she's always positive, always really enthusiastic, like on and off the field. Like, everything she does makes me smile. Like, she's awesome. Yeah.
And the people want to know, who is better at Pokemon Go?
Ooh.
Janina Freistadter or Jenny Wei?
Oh no.
You have to say it.
This could be a friendship breaker.
I know. People have been going crazy about Pokemon Go.
Well, I'll have to say my sideline buddy, Janina. Yeah, for sure.
She's got your heart.
Yeah, she's got my heart. We spend quality time together. Yeah, and I think she's Pokemon master.
And looking forward, what is the team that you're most excited to play against?
I think in Boston, that game will be our final game, and I think all the players will put everything out on the plate, like, because final game we want to end it with a bang. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining me, Ellen. And we're going to get Kristen back on the mic, and we're going to get back to the action. All-Stars are up 8-3. Molly Brown in white, All-Stars in blue. Thanks so much, Ellen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us here. We do want to thank our partners that make it all happen. 5 Ultimate Apparel Company. If you've gotten a chance to check out the All-Stars uniforms, they're wearing some brand new 5 Ultimate Triton shorts, the women's cut. Recommend everybody to try that out. They're very comfortable and they look great. We've had some great feedback.
We, as Molly Brown wanted to go for some soccer shorts, we thought that was what the mass wanted. We took a vote. It unfortunately did not happen, but I think we all regret not getting these 5 women's cut shorts. They look awesome. You can only imagine they're very comfortable, as you said.
Yeah, comfortable, nice and breezy, what you like to see. We also just want to give a shout out to our media crew. We've got Luke Johnson behind the scenes, Eddie Chan, and then we're joined by actually Charlie Eisenhood, who is doing us a big favor on one of the camera operators, and the one and only Kevin Minderhout, who is helping us keep track of score and is on the same, in the booth with us, which for me is actually a really fun moment. Kevin was a big part of making the All-Star Ultimate Tour happen last year, so it's just a joy to have him here with us for this stop. He's getting a little red, so back to the action here with the All-Stars on offense. Walrus to Scarth, and then out wide to Odie. It's like Molly Brown is in a zone set of their own. Walrus wide, backhand swing. Ogawa is open deep, but She draws 3 defenders. Donaldson able to find Kaler. Back to Walrus. Finding Odie. That's 3 out of the 4 Oregon players on the same line. Out to Scarth. Donaldson. Such an impressive thrower and receiver, Donaldson, I have to say. Out wide to Scarth. High release backhand. Finds Donaldson. Looking for Kaler. Looks her off. Stall count rising. Elects for a flick out to space. Looking for Scarth. And Becca Miller just disrupts that pass.
Great defense, heads-up defense by both Reitz and Miller to converge on that disc, really make it difficult for Scarth to come down with that. Also, just great shutdown end zone defense by Molly Brown. Donaldson had to put that up at I'm assuming a stall 8, stall 9, and Molly Brown was really heads up for that play.
Applegate will be picking this up. Looking for Pelletier. Elects to find Franklin. We actually haven't had a chance to talk about the 2015 All-Star Ultimate Tour players that play for Molly Brown that are so exciting to watch. Huge throw from Boyle, finds Reitz with an incredible trailing edge catch, and she goes for a flick all the way to the far sideline, finds Pelletier. She's not in the end zone. Marked by Kaler. Back to Taggart. Holding. And a nice def there from Kaler. Not sure who Taggart was looking at, but
looks like Boyle might be calling a foul on Kaler there. I'm not sure. They seem to be discussing something on the ground. Now they're up. But yeah, as you mentioned, Molly Brown actually has 3 All-Star Ultimate Tour alumni in Lisa Pacafley, Megan Cousins, and Dory Franklin. I know they're all very sad they only had the one opportunity to play. Having a little PTSD from last year, Megan Cousins is very jealous of the people who got to return, I know for sure, as I'm sure Lisa Pacafley and Dory Franklin are as well.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to hang out with Megan Cousins and Lisa Pacafley last night. As they arrived at the house, just screams. Everyone was so excited to see them. Back to the action, though. Applegate, give and go with Franklin, and finds Wrights. Fitting. She made that huge play, and she's the one that catches the goal.
Absolutely. Wrights is actually living in Utah currently, and so she has been a travel player for us so far this season. Exciting to have her here for Pro Elite Challenge. She couldn't make the trek out to Rhode Island, very far, expensive, long 4th of July weekend. Couldn't make it out, but we are very excited to have her back for this weekend, especially for plays like the one she just made, that massive layout bid to save possession. She's a phenomenal teammate as well. We're happy she is back in Colorado.
It's reminiscent of a bid that she made in last year's Molly Brown game.
Yeah, last year I believe she
she skied.
I
Yes.
forget who. But
Hannah Leathers.
Yeah,
she's going to kill me for
really
saying that on air.
Yeah, Reitz really got up for that one. Impressive play. And that's a big game changer for us. We need people to make plays like that to really fire up everyone on Molly Brown. So hopefully Molly Brown turns it around here after seeing Reitz make an incredible play like that. We have Claire Chastain and Dina Slattery out there to hold down the backfield on a turn with, again, just incredible athletes to put downfield in Sally Lambert, Lindsay Cross, Megan Cousins, Newin, and Christina Mickle.
Christina Mickle here with the pole. She's got excellent poles. If you're looking to get better at pulling, that's a player you can also watch. Of course, as I say that, she unfortunately pulls that one out of bounds.
The curse of the commentator, they say.
But trust me, she's an excellent puller. So the All-Stars coming out on sort of a typical offensive line. We've got Miller, Odie, Ogawa, Donaldson, Kaler, Walrus, and Scarth. Looks like their start with an isolated play with Ogawa, and unfortunately just can't connect. Ogawa didn't know that disc went up and turned on the opposite shoulder. Slattery finds Lambert. So much length when she's pivoting. The mark just has to respect it. Slattery shooting deep for Chastain. Donaldson in chase, but Chastain's just going to be able to run that one out. And that's a break for Molly Brown out of half.
That was great movement. I'm sure Donaldson wasn't expecting Chastain to go deep. As I said before, expected her to hold down the backfield, but Chastain is an extremely dynamic player, and that's exactly why she had the opportunity to go deep there. And Slattery with an incredible throw to hit Chastain in stride in the end zone there. Two Team USA teammates connecting there. Very exciting. Gold medalists, in fact. Good to see that connection strong from Molly Brown here.
Slattery is such an impressive player. I think she isn't somebody that I really knew much about before sort of the Team USA tryout process and then watching Team USA in London. So fast, so deadly with her throws.
Absolutely. She is one of the players on Molly Brown I've always looked up to. She just has quick release, quick give and go skills, is a tenacious defender. She would always mark up on me during Molly Brown scrimmages and give me a little bump, fire me up a bit.
Pole goes up from Molly Brown. Fitzgerald up to Sprague. Finding Sue on that sideline. A little bit of a junk set. Sagging in the lanes from Molly Brown, just trying to slow down the All-Stars. Sprague holding, still holding. Finds Fitzgerald, small window. Fitzgerald looking for Schaffner and unfortunately just can't connect.
That was tight defense. There was a lot of tight windows that the All-Stars had to throw into there. Molly Brown definitely tightening up on D. Chastain picked up here on offense.
Finds Bacher. Fakes the high release lefty and telegraphs a little bit. Looks like Edwards got a hand on that, but it appears like there's a foul call.
Did come out a little funky. Seemed.
I'm not sure. Looks like Edwards is thinking about it. There's a bit of discussion. Bacher, a player from University of Vermont, actually. That's where she went to school. I had an opportunity to battle against her in college. Very fast player, very incredible throws. Slattery finds Bacher, winds up a big backhand, but holsters it, looking for Slattery. Finds Lambert. Break backhand to Chastain. High release backhand to win. Finds White. All-Stars trailing a little bit here on defense. Seems like Molly Brown is sort of getting everything that they'd like to get. Cross looking for Lambert. And that's another break for Molly Brown. 2 breaks out of half.
And that is exactly what Molly Brown needed out of half. I'm sure the talk in the huddle was about turning the game around, putting more defensive pressure on the All-Stars, forcing them to throw into tight windows like what happened on this point, and generating some Ds. Coach Joe Durst always talks about how defense is cumulative. If you put a lot of pressure on a team throughout the game, it's going to add up and you're going to force some turnovers. So it seemed to have worked right there on that point.
Looks like the All-Stars will elect to take a timeout. Not surprised. Pretty typical for a team to take a timeout after, being broken twice. So just want to take this opportunity to call people out to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well as Instagram. So All-Star Ultimate Tour for Facebook, All-Star Ulti for Twitter and Instagram. And what about Molly Brown?
Molly Brown is on Facebook as well, just Molly Brown, and then on Twitter at Molly Browntown, as you can see on the screen up there. Follow us, tweet at us. Sometimes our Twitter gets a little crazy with GIFs and fun tweets at Pony and other teams, trying to get a rise, some Twitter battles. Trying to keep it loose on the social media. Molly Brown always. You could also follow us on Molly Weird Town. It's a spin-off account of just the goofy things that happen at Molly Brown practices, Molly Brown hangouts, fun things like that. So I've noticed on a lot of the offensive points for the All-Star Tour, they typically have 3 of the 4 Oregon girls, and then Kate Scarth along with Mira Donaldson from UBC. Is that on purpose to have some chemistry already there, have some chemistry to build off of? Do you have any idea?
I think it's a combination of both of those things. I think it's also a lot of players that have played against each other. When you look when you look up and down the All-Star Ultimate Tour roster, you see a lot of players that have battled against each other, and they might not have played together in college, but when you're marking up on somebody, you know, year after year and tournament after tournament,
You know them.
yeah, you know them. You start to understand where they like to be, what they like to throw. But it's been undeniable, the connection between the Oregon players, and the connection between Scarth and Donaldson has actually been very impressive.
They only played 1 year on UBC together this past year. Scarth started medical school at UBC, I believe, right?
Absolutely. Some confusion here on the pole. Unclear if it landed in bounds and then rolled out or simply landed out of bounds. Either way, looks like they've been able to figure that out with the observer. Scarth picking it up, breaks the backhand around to Kaler, looking for Donaldson. Haley Walrus roasts her defender, gets open. High release flick there from Kaler to Miller, and Odie almost able to hold on to that, but it's just a little bit high. Applegate to go pick up. You've got to think she wants to boost it right now. She always does, it seems like. Boyle back to Applegate, and sure enough, there's that huge backhand huck. Looking for Ives, unfortunately cannot connect.
Just a little too far out of reach. I think the wind might be picking up a little bit. We can feel a slight breeze up here in the booth. Could be affecting the throw a little bit. Not sure how it feels down on the field, of course.
Where did Paige Applegate go to college?
Colorado State University. She was the rock for their team for all 4 of her years.
Donaldson, a lot of clearing for the handlers. Elects to throw a massive hammer. It's a little bit too high for Walrus. So
Donaldson seems to really like her hammers. Her Callahan video featured many hammer completions. Just a great throw to open up space, get it to the break side.
Taggart picking up, finding Applegate. Finds Pelletier under. And then to Boyle. Boyle and Pelletier, both known for their tremendous person defense. Awesome to see them also contributing on offense. And a nice poach block there from Kaler.
She read that one coming. Boyle
definitely did it in a safe way too. I mean, she didn't try to use her body too much, and Scarth just puts that one out and a little too far in front of Ogawa. We talked a lot about body awareness and avoidance of contact. I know it's something that the All-Star Ultimate Tour players have been mindful of after our game against Nightlock just the other night. But back to the action, we can talk about that in a little bit. Walrus finds Miller, back to Walrus. Looking for Scarth, connects. Surveying the field, finds Kaler. All-Stars just working the unders right now. Now finding some space on the break side. Donaldson back to Kaler. There's a lot of communication on the field between the All-Star players, just trying to figure out where each other are, and a huge flick blade from Kaler, trying to find Ogawa. Mikkel just reads that beautifully and is able to get that one, pull it out. Applegate up to Boyle. Finds Pelletier. Looking for Boyle, can't find her. Applegate, just the anchor of this line, it feels like right now. Taggart up to Ives. Forward to Boyle. Chen. Applegate. Just looking a little bit tired there from Molly Brown, and a huge bid from Walrus. Cannot stop that excellent throw from Boyle, and that excellent grab as well. We'll get a chance to look at it again, perhaps. Just some phenomenal display of athleticism and skill. Here we see Boyle extending a huge bid by Haley Walrus. Excellent grab by Taggart. Very impressive.
That is the third break in a row for Molly Brown, I believe. So definitely putting the pressure on defense. Maybe the All-Stars potentially could be getting a little tired. As you said, it is game 6, maybe tired legs late in the day. There's only 15 of them currently playing, so who knows what's going on with their bodies. I'm sure all the travel and all the games played prior to this are taking a toll.
Yeah, we have 2 players that are currently out, Janina Freisdotter and Ellen L. Young. Just potential concussions, not wanting to push it. They both have long careers ahead of themselves, so they know that they want to take care of themselves first and foremost.
Absolutely. Both of them just finishing their sophomore year of college, I believe.
Janina, I think, graduated early. She's kind of a special case. She will continue to play Ultimate, just I don't think she'll continue to play College Ultimate. Fitzgerald finding Sprague, the center handler. High release break to France, and a near just collision there, but Slattery finds White. That's another break for Molly Brown. This feels a little bit, we've got a chance to see this again. Sprague just floats out a little bit, and we were just saying that there's a little bit of wind down there. Picathy with a D, excuse me, I'd misspoken earlier. This is a little bit reminiscent, I feel like, of the All-Star Ultimate Tours game against Molly Brown last year, where it felt very tight in the first half, very competitive, very, fantastic display on both sides, execution on both sides. Feels like the second half, the All-Stars are starting a little bit to get tired and unravel a little bit. It's currently tied at 8s.
Yeah, exciting though for Molly Brown for sure. I'm sure everyone on the team is excited that they've been able to battle back from the deficit, especially going into this weekend. They want to be confident in their system. I think the fast break has been working very well for them so far. I think just catching the All-Stars off foot a little bit with each fast break.
All-Stars starting on offense here, back again. France finds Fitzgerald, out to Sprague, back to Fitzgerald. Looking to keep these throws low, as you can just see them. France. Oh, and an unfortunate miscue there. Fitzgerald just unable to haul that one in. Oh, and Slattery looking for that inside throw. Can't connect with White. Lori thought about chasing that one down. It actually stayed alive a little bit longer than I would have expected.
Yeah, it looks like from the flags in the stands, the wind might be a little crosswind away from
fantastic block there by White. Molly Brown will surely put in this offensive possession. Chastain, Sue with her hands nice and high. Excellent backhand break from Chastain all the way to Lori. Sneaks it between Wei and Sue despite there being 2 defenders there.
Exactly. As you said earlier, if you want to learn from a thrower, Claire Chastain is definitely one of the best, especially with her backhand around. Just quick release, always finds the target right on. Incredible thrower. Good to see Molly Brown punch in quick offense right on the end zone line there. End zone sets are definitely something every team works on a lot, and so I'm sure builds a lot of confidence for them for a nice one-pass score. The wind is definitely picking up. Some of the boards are flying. I saw an observer trying to keep the line down on the field.
It looks like there is some wind down there. That will definitely be playing a part in this. The All-Stars kind of need a little bit of energy right now. It feels a little bit lackluster. What else do you think is really needed from them at this point?
I think they just need one quick offensive hold. Once they can get that, I'm sure will fire right back up on defense. Every single person on the All-Star Tour is an incredible defender, and I'm sure is ready to get back out on defense. If they can just get a quick hold, I'm sure that
you can see the flag there in the background of the shot. Pretty strong wind. Surprising that it sort of has picked up so quickly. Big blading pole there.
I think that was maybe a little downwind help on the pull.
Traps Walrus in that corner, but she finds Scarth around to Kaler, back to Edwards. Edwards finds Scarth again. So these are sort of the typical offensive line for the All-Stars. We are actually missing Claire Revere, unfortunately. Wow, the disc just keeps going and going, and
injury for
appears
sure.
that there has been an injury just in that. However, Schaffner finding Edwards, but somebody is definitely on the ground. It appears to be
Reitz. It looked like she almost got like flipped over in the air.
unclear. That throw just held and held and held. Not entirely sure what seems to have happened there, but Kaler did come down with it eventually. And looks like there might be a substitution here.
Looks like Christina Mickle came on for Reitz there.
All-Stars are not taking a substitution. What I was saying before is that, so this is sort of a typical offensive line for the All-Stars. They are, however, missing Claire Revere, who was unable to join us for this game. Her presence is definitely missed, but it's a versatile player, so it's no problem really to fill and plug. Edwards to Miller, back to Edwards. Great backhand break from Edwards, finds Scarth. Kaler holding. Oh, puts it out just a little too far in front of Edwards. Chen picks it up and boosts a forehand, looking for Pelletier. Nice throw, able to put that all the way on that break side, and it appears like there is a call. Chen and Schaffner are discussing things a little bit.
I think probably a travel call. Chen just picked that up and ripped it, so that would be my only guess. Very great throw from Chen, though. As I said earlier, I think there might be a slight downwind from the right to left on your screen.
We'll come back to Chen. She'll find Applegate. Under to Miller that just pops up. Scarth able to just a hand on that, enough to bring it down. Finds Walrus, back to Edwards. Edwards is so fantastic at being on her toes and being able to react so quickly. Impressive player. Kaler finds Scarth with an excellent grab to save possession there. Scarth is holding, back to Kaler. Wide to Edwards. She's able to haul it in. She is not in bounds, according to the observer. She'll be holding. Looking for Schaffner, still looking, and finds Kaler. Finally connects at the front of the end zone. That is a goal, much needed goal by the All-Stars.
Very tight window that Edwards had to throw to Kaler there. Just good end zone defense from Molly Brown. I'm sure they're upset that they didn't get that turn, but great pressure, forced the All-Stars to throw a lot of throws, but the All-Stars also showed why they are incredible athletes and are a part of this tour. They have the patience, they have the throws and the confidence to work it all 70 yards.
Let's talk about that Kate Scarth layout.
Oh, absolutely incredible. Full extension, it looked like. Honestly, from here, maybe fingertips grabbed that. That was just an incredible display of athleticism. She is just a fantastic player. From watching her, she really just never seems flustered on the field by any means. Like, she has a huge layout like that and then just gets right back up, throws it to the next open player.
Really impressive player. I think she's had quite a bit of experience playing in college. She's played for Traffic. She's also played on a number of national teams. So she's used to sort of coming together as a team really quickly and being flexible and collaborative. And she's been just a joy to have as a returner for the All-Stars.
Coming together quickly is definitely a good advantage. I think last year's All-Star Ultimate Tour might have had an advantage coming off of U23s, some of the players playing together there. Maybe could attest to them coming together quickly, playing a very close game with Riot right off the bat last year. But the All-Stars seem to have come together very quickly in just, I guess, 4 games. They looked great on Tuesday night as well. So
huge pull from the All-Stars. Molly Brown is going to take it at the front of the red zone. Slattery finds Bacher crashing into that cup. That's something that I've noticed that Molly Brown really likes to do. Slattery finds Chastain. More of a typical offensive line here for Molly Brown. Back to Bacher. Chastain. Wonder if we'll see her. Oh, great grab by, or sorry, excuse me, great D by Sue. She's able just to get her hand in there and block that. Fitzgerald picking up, looking for Schaffner, but goes for the around. Finds France, back to Fitzgerald. Sue holding. Great around mark from Molly Brown, and she finds Sprague on that up the line cut.
that was, I think, a great move by the All-Star defense to come out with that zone.
We'll get a chance to see this again. Sue holding here, and you see that Chastain is gonna sort of bite on this around and really try to squeeze on that mark and stop the around. Sue just has to go upfield. She has no other choice.
Absolutely. Definitely a strategic mark that Molly Brown has talked a lot about, taking away the around, especially when you're trapped on that sideline. Claire Chastain does a good job of it there. We like to call ourselves the Molly Crabs because our marks are always moving. But I really like the defensive adjustment by the All-Star Tour there, especially with this wind picking up. Doesn't allow Chastain to break the field open as much with her throws. She's probably hesitant a little bit with the wind picking up, not sure how it'll fly. And always good just to change up the defense throughout a game, catch the other team off guard, slow down their offensive pull play.
Yeah, and that was a break by the All-Stars, and they desperately needed it. They're up 10-9, and they'll be looking to score upwind. So I imagine these upwind scores at this point are going to come at a premium.
Absolutely.
But
it looks like Reeds is back on the field after taking that hard hit, so it's good to see that she's okay back out on the field.
she's joined by Chen, Miller, Taggart, Pelletier, Mickle, and Franklin. A roller pull, so that will keep Molly Brown on that sideline. Franklin having to run quite far just to get that Frisbee. All-Stars look like coming down in a person set. Sprague on the mark. I do not envy Franklin right now. She throws through the contact. That's a throw that Dory Franklin likes to throw a lot. That break backhand.
Through the contact almost always draws a foul, but almost always completes it as well.
Franklin looking for Chen. Just can't connect. A little confusion. She thought Chen was coming back. Chen was actually clearing through. Fitzgerald pops up, almost finds Edwards, but looks like there is a D by Reitz potentially.
Yeah. Looks like Edwards might have gotten hit in the face, maybe by the disc or Reitz's hands, unsure, but it is a turnover.
I think it was the disc because she doesn't appear to be calling a foul. Taggart picking up for Molly Brown. Nice up the line pass to Franklin. Franklin holding, big mark by Scarth. And just too far in front of Taggart. That up the line throw right now I think is really hard to throw. Sprague looking for Scarth and just can't connect. Taggart boosts it, looking for Tanya Reitz, excuse me, and just can't connect. A little bit of sloppiness here from both teams.
I would not say that's a bad look from Taggart. She had the wind in her favor, but I think it came out a lot bladier than she expected. Reitz couldn't quite run it down.
France picks up, wow, the speed of Schaffner, and Taggart is smart to poach off of her offender. And that throw just sails too far in front. Cannot connect with Fitzgerald. Pelletier finds Franklin. Then to Taggart. A little bit of stagnation downfield from Molly Brown. Up the line cut to Franklin. We were just saying how hard that throw is right now in this wind.
Absolutely, and most players don't seem to have adjusted to this new wind. It just started 3 or 4 points ago, it seemed like. Still figuring it out.
And Schaffner boosts the backhand. Who else? Jenny Way. And I like that it kind of changes, gets them out of that really dangerous spot. Way finds Edwards to Fitzgerald. Losing a little bit of yards here. Edwards still holding. Finds Fitzgerald. Sprague up the line cut. Great around break from Fitzgerald. A nice edge on that throw, is able to connect with France. Forward to Way, who does a great job attacking the disc. And just off the fingertips of Fitzgerald, a long point. I wonder who's going to call a timeout. I feel like both teams could use it at this point.
Absolutely.
Franklin with the disc. Nice backhand break, but unfortunately she cannot connect. It does appear that there is a foul called. Some contact on that mark.
A fun matchup right there. Fitzgerald and Franklin, longtime college rivals. Fitzgerald plays on Kansas Betty's. Franklin, an alumni of Colorado Colley. Last year, All-Star Ultimate teammates. Unfortunately, Fitzgerald couldn't play, excuse me.
Franklin looking for Taggart, and Sprague just has long arms. You can't teach tall and you can't teach length. France picking it up. Let's see if the All-Stars can finally connect here. Way just gets open with an excellent footwork, and then lays out and puts that throw in front of Schaffner. That's a score for the All-Stars, and I believe that's a break.
It is indeed 2 breaks in a row for the All-Stars now. I think the wind has really been playing with Molly Brown. A lot of things just floating too far. The up the line throw is very difficult.
Just saw that great layout by Way, and she just calmly throws that forward to Schaffner, who goes up strong. And I think both teams realize now you have to attack the disc in this wind. There's no knowing where it's going to go.
Absolutely. Schaffner did a nice job getting her body behind that in the air, too, in case it took a weird air bounce.
So just so that everybody at home is on the same page, we are playing to 15. We've got a soft cap at 8:40 and then a hard cap at 8:50. So we'll do our best to keep our eye on the clock for you as well, but just so that you're aware. So the All-Stars are on defense now. We've got Odie, Kaler, Sue, Ogawa, Donaldson, Miller, and France. This seems to me like a true hybrid line. A couple of defensive players, a couple of offensive players. I talked to Molly Brown's coach before this game, and they said that they sort of run a system of pods, and those pods are dependent upon a lot of things. Who's feeling hot, and then also upwind, downwind, defense or offense. So I wonder if the All-Stars are starting to adjust some of that as well, thinking about who's, an upwind thrower versus a downwind thrower. Slattery to White, back to Chastain. Quick movement from Molly Brown. White to Chastain. Every other for Chastain here. So impressive. Slattery, excellent inside throw, but just can't connect with White. I wonder if the wind influenced that throw at all. And this is another opportunity for a break for the All-Stars. Kaler finds Donaldson in the middle. You've got to think that you don't want to leave Donaldson in the middle of the field open. But she finds France. A swim move from Donaldson, but unfortunately that throw is just out of her reach. Slattery picking up, Ogawa on the mark. Nice mark from Ogawa, just stopping Slattery's inside and around. Slattery finds White to Chastain. Hearing a fire call. Sounds like it's a switch to person defense for the All-Stars. Chastain to Bacher, who elevates for that catch. Back to Slattery. Nice throw and go movement from Molly Brown. Out to Pitcaithley. We haven't said that name in a little while, but White tracks the one down, finds Slattery, and then cross. And that's just clinical by Molly Brown, slicing and dicing through the All-Star defense.
Absolutely.
Got a chance to see it again here.
moves the mark. White moves the mark very well. A nice cheeky inside up the field break throw to Slattery, and Slattery barely sets a pivot before she finds Cross in the end zone. Great quick movement.
Nice smile there from Cross. I would love to take a second just to talk a little bit about Alicia White. I mean, for those of you that don't know, she's been part of the women's ultimate community and just the top player in the women's division for so many years.
Yeah, so many years. She has some absurd 12 or 13 medals to her name.
National teams, she's played on them. Championship teams, she's played on them.
She was a part of Fury's long run for many of the years before she moved out to Scandal and helped them win 2 national championships. Molly Brown's hoping she will bring some of that experience here to Molly Brown.
Yeah, and she is one of the captains.
She is indeed.
Along with
Claire Chastain and Maggie Chen are Molly Brown's 2 other captains. I think they're a great duo. You have the experience of Alicia White, the gritty defensive pressure of Maggie Chen, and the creativity of Claire Chastain. They complement each other very, very well.
Another blading pull from Molly Brown, pretty effective so far. Scarth stops that pull, forward to Walrus. Finding Scarth in the middle to Kaler. All-Stars were in a side stack and now appear to be transitioning to horizontal set. Walrus to Miller, Miller back to Walrus. Finding Scarth. Effective poaching in the lanes here from Molly Brown.
Yeah, this is how Molly Brown likes to start defense. Every point, a little sag in the lane.
Miller up to Donaldson. Oh, and a nice move there, and Donaldson rips a flick to Odie. I don't know if I can quite explain this to you, but it's windy out there, and she just made that look so easy.
Yeah, Mira Donaldson, an absolute elite thrower in the women's division. We'll get to see here again.
She just puts that perfectly to Odie. Odie doesn't have to do anything spectacular. She keeps running, she runs it out. Defender can't even get there.
Yeah. I think Mira Donaldson was another player I was very excited to hear announced on the tour, just to see her arsenal of throws unleashed on the tour. She can do it from anywhere on the field, and almost any throw, it seems like. That was a fantastic flick out to space for Odie to run onto.
So the All-Stars will be playing on D here. We've got Sprague, Edwards, Scarth, Way, France, Schaffner, and Fitzgerald. We've got a great crowd out here in Denver. A lot of players that are here already for the Pro League Challenge. It's a great opportunity for them to come and watch some fantastic women's ultimate. Get excited for this weekend. Good time to bring the community together. Not often are there showcase games at tournaments for people to attend. We got Sprague with a pull, another blading pull, great pull. Slattery forward to Chastain, connects with Pitcaithley in the middle of the field. Lambert, ooh, fakes a backhand, elects to go to Pitcaithley, to White. Sounds like the All-Stars are transitioning into a person defense. Fitzgerald on Chastain, and that's just a little too far in front for Lori. It's a throw that Chastain likes to throw. That sort of swirly backhand low release break up to Schaffner. Oh, and an excellent D, and the crowd just goes wild. That is Claire Chastain just bidding past Fitzgerald.
Claire Chastain has an incredible layout. She does that over and over again. It amazes me every time. Comes from behind, just gets through to the disc and the disc alone.
Wow, I'm so impressed. Not surprised, but so impressed. Chastain got that one back for her team. Up to Pitcaithley, finding Lambert. Around to Slattery. Scarth almost blocks that around, but she's able to connect with Chastain. Instead, she'll go forward to Slattery, and appears like there is perhaps a call downfield, potentially a pick. Tends to happen in the end zone in these small areas.
I believe Molly Brown was also transitioning into a vertical stag. Probably got some confusion between the players in the back.
And it appears that actually Claire Chastain took a sub.
Oh.
Not sure if just knocked the wind out of her, or I'm not sure. Hope she's okay. Nice inside look from Slattery. Finds Bacher. Nice hold there from Molly Brown.
The inside break is a very nice look. I think they're going a little into the wind here, so it slices through the air a little faster than a high release backhand or a high release flick even. So nice awareness by Slattery of the conditions.
KJ, I was just wondering, have you had at all the opportunity to watch our Fury game or our Nightlight game from this past week, or from Tuesday, excuse me?
I have not. I was saving up all of the All-Star games for post-surgery entertainment, and I got surgery on Tuesday night, so I missed the live version. It's on my to-do list this weekend, but I heard about the incredible comeback in the Fury game and a tight, hard-fought game with Nightlock all the way until the end.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate end of the game there. We were playing Nightlock, and there was a player that went down, Laura Oldershaw, who just had an injury on a play against Way, and I think there's been a lot of talk online about everything that sort of went down, and I think from the All-Star Ultimate Tour's perspective and just from everyone that was present at the game, it was a really scary moment for
Absolutely.
everybody on the field. I was commentating up in the booth, and the entire stadium just went silent immediately.
Yeah, it looked very scary from the replay that was posted.
And the players were just shocked. I mean, I brought the players together at the end of that game and said, hey, listen, this is an emotional night. Take some time and check in with a buddy and talk about what you're feeling, and let's remember that we love playing this game and we have a lot of joy for this game, and let's continue to respect that. Back to the action. Odie finds Walrus, an offensive point here for the All-Stars. Nice mark from Franklin, so impressive. She finally finds Kaler. She's got Miller open on the break side. And now finds her. Nice break throw to Kaler. And a huge flick huck. Looking for Odie. Can she catch it? And unfortunately, she cannot come down with that. And I know that Odie's wishing she sort of hung on to that disc. Not sure if there's an injury. It appears I'm seeing Ogawa step off the field on that far sideline. Schaffner is touching base with Odie. I know she's had a couple concussions, one of which was in the college season, the end of her college career at Oregon. So most likely just electing to sub off, collect herself, and check in with her body and see how she's doing. Looks like Schaffner will come in for Odie. Would be
sure who came in for Ogawa. It looks like Edwards potentially out there.
Not entirely sure. Looks like Molly Brown will have an opportunity here to break late in this game.
Going a little downwind, it'll be interesting if they elect to use that to their advantage or if they'll just try and work it a lot. The All-Stars seem to be backing pretty heavily.
They're expecting that deep shot from Applegate, and sure enough, there it is, a huge flick up, looking for Boyle. Just a little too far out in front. I think I'm okay with that shot because of the field position. I mean, it's so windy, it's not so windy, but it's windy enough that I think that that's an okay option.
Absolutely, and here, they almost get it back.
Walrus looking for Kaler, pops up, but Kaler sticks with it. Back to Walrus. Wide to Scarth. Hits the turf. Inside break. Not sure who she was looking for, but it sails over her offender's heads. Lori to Taggart, trying to find Boyle. The discs are just sailing a little bit.
think everyone needs to take a quick breath before releasing. Things are just going a little too far out of the receiver's arm's reach.
Yeah, and those are throws that might have worked earlier on in the game, but now that there's a little bit of fatigue, players just need to dial it in a little bit. Donaldson finding Scarth, looking for the inside to Miller, but finds Walrus, looking at all that lateral movement all the way to Kaler. Nice clear by Sarah Edwards. That's what allows that breakthrough to Donaldson to happen. Donaldson to Scarth. Looking for a dump option, finds the inside, and Schaffner just can't get her hands on it.
Another fatigue mistake. I'm sure Schaffner does not have many of those.
Applegate looking for Franklin, and Franklin boosts it back in. And again, I think that's a little bit of just trying to get some field positioning.
All-Stars here call a timeout. A good idea. It's been kind of a long point, catch their breath, get their offense set up. Scarth was essentially by herself there in the backfield.
This is a good opportunity just to learn a little bit more about Molly Brown. What are the players of Molly Brown that coach? I know you sort of mentioned Claire Chastain, who's coached quite a bit, and then, of course, Lauren Boyle. She coached the under-23 women's, or assistant coached the under-23 women's team. Are there any other players on the team that are involved in coaching?
Yeah, Lindsay Cross and Lizzie Laurie are both coaching a YCC team. Maggie Chen and Dina Slattery also help coach with local high schools around the area. It's great to see them give back to their community. I know Win and Megan Ives, through Colorado Collie, we try and give back to middle schools throughout the fall when things are a little less crazy. But yeah, a good mix of people who are giving back to their community, and it's great to see that the YCC coaches are excited for what their teams have in store. Lindsay is coaching the U19 girls team, and a couple people on Molly Brown have pen pals with the YCC girls.
I love that. That's
YCC
a great
girls
idea.
wrote some Molly's a note for Colorado Cup, and they will return the favor for YCC in the next week or so.
Oh, that's a great idea. I hope that some other club teams can emulate. And looks like the All-Stars will be tapping it in soon. Scarth.
Coachy defense here from Molly Brown. We have Maggie Chen and Dory Franklin out in the lanes with Christina Mickle, deep help here.
Scarth, inside break, finds Donaldson, forward to Kaler. Schaffner, Edwards out to the races so fast. All-Stars just able to rip through this back to Donaldson. Nice cut there to be open, and a huge flick up. Floats, she's got Schaffner, and she can't close her hands. She's got two defenders.
That's Megan Ives and Christina Mickle, both there. I think Schaffner is calling a foul. It seemed like Megan Ives had a position. Maybe we'll get a replay here.
Schaffner goes up. Hard to tell from that angle, actually. Just
the disc right in the way of the hands that maybe hit each other.
Looks like call is resolved. And do just want to give you a heads up. We are keeping an eye on things. Look like there might be some lightning. So we'll keep you posted on that. Soft cap goes on in 4 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that, like I said. Mickle, I believe, looking for Applegate.
You have Lauren Boyle just hanging out deep. Here she comes in.
Franklin back to Applegate. You know she's going to put that deep. Ives going to run that one out. Finally, a connection going downwind for Molly Brown. Ives back to Mickle. Players just trying to get downfield. Walrus on the mark. Mickle wide, and Edwards just stays in the lane, knows that she's looking for that D, and just nice shot. Donaldson rips a backhand, looking for Schaffner. It's floating. She's got Mickle there. She's able to make the grab. Fantastic poke by Mira Donaldson. Fantastic grab by Jessie Schaffner. And she'll look for Edwards all the way over there. near drop, but that's bookends for Sarah Edwards.
And Jessie Schaffner just shows why she is one of the best
We'll
players.
see it right here. She just gets in front of Mickle, uses her body.
Goes up very strong and puts this disc out to space for Edwards to run onto. There are no defenders in that area, and Edwards does a great job of reading this in the wind. As we said, had to attack it. Don't know what the wind's going to do here.
And it just drops, and she's able to adjust. Very impressed by Sarah Edwards. I mean, if you're a player that wants to work on being a heads-up defender, she's a great one to watch. University of Washington player. She's played on the Junior Worlds team. She's played on the Under-23 mixed team. She currently plays for Seattle Underground. Very impressive.
Absolutely. She read that play down at the other end zone so well. Just knew that a dump throw was going to come off rather than following her offender into the end zone. Just great awareness of what's happening on the field, where the stall count is even, things like that.
Good crowd out here in the stands. They like the big plays. And looks like there's a little dog out there in the stands, Luke Johnson, making sure I know that there is a dog in the stands. All-Stars are going to be pulling from this upwind end zone. We've got Sprague, France, Schaffner, Way, Sue, Fitzgerald, and Miller. Sprague with the pull, this time electing to go to inside-out pull. That's going to go quite far, all the way almost to the end zone, finding Bacher up to Slattery. White back to Slattery. Looks like the All-Stars are in a zone set. It's been effective so far, so I'm not surprised that they're continuing to throw it. Cousins to Picaithley, Slattery, back to Picaithley. Excellent throw by Picaithley to Cousins, inside to inside, and Lori looking for win. And what a fantastic grab. She's able to hang on. She knows she has to run that out, and she also knows she has to leave her feet.
Great play from Wynn. Also a very nice space put.
We'll see Cousins throw that inside, finding Lori, and just a huge layout from Wynn. We'll see her track it, and then leave her feet. She's able to make that catch.
Wynn, also a very well-known player, played on a couple of Junior Worlds teams, and known for big plays like that.
She's played on Molly Brown for quite a while now, right? So she started playing when she was in high school?
She actually played 1 year in 2013 and then took 2014 off to play with the Junior Worlds teams, deal with those expenses and all the travel. Didn't want to take away from building team chemistry on Molly Brown. She practiced with them, prepping for Junior Worlds. And then last year she was coming off a PCL injury from the college season, so she was just a practice player again, but she is recovered and gelling well with Molly Brown this year and making a statement, making a name for herself there with that great layout in this game.
Molly Brown on defense. It's a tight game, 13-12. All-Stars are still up.
The crowd is really getting into this game. Coming to the end here, soft cap is on, so it'll be a game to 15. They're excited to see how this one ends.
Nice pull. Walrus up to Scarth. Nice inside shot to Way. Way wide to Walrus. Looking for Donaldson. Boyle able to cut that off with her mark. This time Walrus does find Donaldson. So tall, she's able to elevate so easily. Finding Scarth. All-Stars are getting a little bit deep. Their cutters are not having any deep options because they're so far. And Donaldson rips a forehand up. She's got Way and Reitz. And a fantastic D by Reitz. Way just never had a shot. She kind of knows it. Nice high five there from the two players. They know that it's a clean play.
Shows off her incredible athleticism there. Really elevates to get up for that D. Goes up early, making sure that Jenny Way doesn't have a chance to come from behind. Great defensive play there.
Applegate shooting deep. And Donaldson is able to jump that lane. She was looking for Becca Miller. Great receiver in her own right, but Donaldson just able to get that block in the lane. Finds Sue being sure-handed with 2 hands. Up to Kaler. Oh, and a miscue, unfortunately, with Donaldson. Some contact, but it does appear no foul call, just a simple miscue. Applegate picking it up, finds Boyle. Oh! Looking for Franklin, and Kaler just says no. Clean layout block on that undercut.
Bethany Kaler is a great, fantastic athletic defender in her own right, displaying it there.
Way to Donaldson. Way clearing up line. Donaldson finding the inside shot to Kaler. And Kaler hucks it to Scarth, and she nearly gets a hand on it, but it's too far in front. Just a little bit of a Blady shot there. Applegate forward to Boyle. Launches a flick. She's got Becca Miller open. Reitz is following the play. Donaldson trying to make up the space, and she does a great job shutting down those 2 cuts. Makes Reitz and Miller really choose and decide. What a great throw that Miller comes down with. You'll see Donaldson sort of trailing. She's able to communicate effectively with her fakes and hits rights.
Donaldson really just put in a hard place there in the end zone, trying to cover all points of the end zone. Very difficult to do. Does a good job of taking away one side, but Miller unmarked there makes it very difficult. The All-Stars will be going back on offense here with that slightly downwind. Molly Brown, looks to be putting on a very strong thrower-heavy line to try and get this upwind break to get ahead in this game here. We have Bacher, Lauren Bacher, Lindsay Cross, Megan Cousins, Christina Mickle, Lisa Picafley, Dina Slattery, and Alicia White. Claire Chastain did go off earlier with an injury, and she has not returned. I'm guessing she's just taking it easy before a big, important tournament coming this weekend. Doesn't want to take any chances. She'll be very much needed in the 2 days to come. And Christina Mickle on the pull here. A great upwind pull.
Yeah, like we said before, she's a fantastic puller. Just want to keep you guys updated. It looks like there is some lightning. So we'll be letting you know if we need to make any adjustments or pause the game in any way. Walrus in the middle of the field. All-Stars offensive point. Back to Walrus, finding Kaler. Edwards filling in that handler space. Great break around from Walrus. Finds Miller. Lateral movement from the All-Stars. Kaler up to Schaffner. Schaffner sees Donaldson and Scarth, and
Dina Slattery comes in there with that D. She's so fast. Really gets up for that D there.
That throw, they've been overthrowing them, and I think maybe Schaffner tried to go a little soft, and unfortunately she wasn't able to connect. Cousins to White. Picafley is going deep. White finds Cross instead. Cross looking for Picafley. Nice inside throw. Picafley to White, finding Cousins. And a round break from Cousins. And what a nice throw, finding White. That's a break for Molly Brown.
With hard cap looming and a hard at 15, that was a very important break for Molly Brown to get there. Megan Cousins just really showed some great patience on towards the end zone line there. Didn't get flustered and really just waited for something to open up downfield, and Alicia White with a great up the line break cut.
We have, looks like it is 3 minutes to hard cap, so 14-13 now. It's a must score for the All-Stars in order to stay in this game. For the All-Stars, looks like we have Scarth, Way, Miller, Kaler. That's Edwards and France.
For Molly Brown, we have Sam Pelletier, Lindsay Cross, Christina Mickle, Megan Cousins, Lisa Picathley, Alicia White, and Ashley Daly Morgan, all phenomenal defenders in their own right. Molly Brown really looking to close this one out here with a quick turn on defense and maybe a downwind offensive play chalked up here.
The All-Stars, conversely, looking to hold. This is going to be a tough upwind hold for them. Scarth up to Schaffner. And then up to Scarth. A lot of poaching in the lanes. Very effective so far. Finds Edwards. Back to Scarth. Schaffner is just open. They're sagging off those handlers, making it quite easy. Finding Scarth. Edwards. Attacking so well on those unders. Finds Way. Looking to Kaler. France is open. Unfortunately, Kaler just cannot connect. Breaks around to Scarth. A little bit of confusion by the All-Stars. Some double cutting. Nice inside throw to Kaler. She just hangs on. Finds Way. Forward to Edwards, being sure with both hands. And she throws a perfect flick to Schaffner. Tacks that space, and we're all tied up.
Absolutely a double game point situation here. We get a replay of that great throw from Jenny Way up to Edwards, who just puts it out to space for Schaffner.
I do believe it is win by 2, actually.
Excuse me, I misspoke there. So this game could be going on for a little longer. Exciting matchup here on a Friday night. I really like the Lisa Picathley, Jessie Schaffner matchup there. They seem to be great buds outside of playing, and I'm sure love to battle it out against each other on the field. All-Star alumni Lisa Picathley, Jessie Schaffner getting to return this year. Very exciting to see them go head-to-head.
We actually have all the, seems like the returners, excuse me, the alumni that play on Molly Brown also have little stars on their calves made out of Sharpie stars. They're excited to be part of this game, even just this one game of the tour.
Absolutely. I think Megan Cousins has even watched the documentary upwards of 3 times now. She just can't get enough of what the All-Star Tour stands for and the opportunity to have been a part of it last year and then again this year in this one game.
The All-Stars on defense. Huge pull by Kim Sprague. Rolls Taggart finding Applegate. Should still be in game of 16, so Taggart back to Applegate. Finding Miller. Applegate. Taggart. Defensive look has been very effective for the All-Stars. Boyle. Taggart. We haven't seen Chastain come back after she took a sub. So it looks like Applegate will be the every other at this point. Taggart to Boyle. The All-Stars have transitioned into person defense. Nice throw from Applegate just below the hands of the defender. Great grab from Becca Miller. She just elevates to make that catch. Finding Pelletier. And Boyle is just open in the front of that end zone. No problem.
The All-Stars were transitioning and never got into man. We're going to look here again at Becca Miller getting up. Great athleticism from Becca Miller.
She fakes that around so nicely. It opens up that space for Pelletier to come on the inside. Same thing, Pelletier fakes that around and then just finds Boyle open in the front of the end zone. So it is game to 15, and hard will be at 17, I believe.
All right, so I have from a reliable source, Hank Carey, head observer.
This has been a very exciting game so far. So many athletic plays on both sides. Bethany Kaler, obviously standout so far this tour, continuing to make incredible athletic plays in this game. And then from the Molly Brown side, Tanya Reitz really elevates in the sky, got a D. She had that massive layout bid, and then was rewarded with a score. I'm excited to see what will come out of these last two, what are sure to be very gritty, hard-fought points, or excuse me, potentially 4? Is my math right? Yeah, 3, 4. Potentially 4 more points. I am a college grad, I promise.
Walrus centering to Scarth. Out wide to Walrus. Finding Donaldson, so deadly with that disc, and just a cannon of an arm. There's no doubt in my mind that she can rip any kind of upwind throw for this line. Scarth finding Donaldson. Deep cut comes, but it's just a little late, so Kaler comes under an unfortunate miscommunication with Sue. Scarth tries to adjust, and White doesn't see Cousins, it's open deep. Bacher instead will elect to go deep, looking for Pitcaithley. Just a little bit too far out in front. Pitcaithley is a great target, though, for that deep space. I'm not surprised that throw went up.
Absolutely. In last year's All-Star game against Molly Brown, Lisa was on the other side, but had an incredible layout catch in the end zone, which I think landed on top 10 on
Yeah,
Sports
Center top 10 from 2015. Donaldson holding, rips a forehand huck. Will that come back in bounds? Miller trying to make that catch. She has to stay in bounds, but the defense doesn't, so much easier for them to read that disc and get the D. Slattery with the disc. Pitcaithley running deep, coming under. Slatter elects to find Lambert, an impressive deep cutter herself. Back to Slattery. Finds White, rips a backhand all the way to Bacher, and that's an excellent grab. Molly Brown is now up. And that should be game. Unfortunate end to this game for the All-Stars, but great fight from Molly Brown, really a game of runs.
Absolutely. The All-Stars were up 7-4 at half, I believe. 8-5 at half, and Molly Brown came back and traded for a while, and Molly Brown edged out in the end. Comes from having a bigger roster than the All-Stars. I'm sure fatigue sets in these long games, but a great display of women in ultimate. Excited for the rest of the tour. Excited to see what Molly Brown does this weekend at Pro Elite Challenge, along with most other elite teams that have traveled to Colorado here.
Yeah, Molly Brown will be an exciting team to follow for the rest of the season. So many stars on that team, so much skill, so much athleticism. Be sure to follow their story as this season progresses. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trina Tidgum.
I'm Kirsten Johnson.
And it's just been a pleasure here commentating this game. Please join us for our next game. We'll be playing against Atlanta Ozone on August 3rd. That's Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks so much for joining us. We're out.